jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and Game A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know. We back on Thanksgiving. Salute to those that's enjoying their holiday. I'm not going to be on here long. Real talk. Just want to touch on a couple of topics right quick. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that just looking at the thumbnail, you know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor was found guilty of a sexual assault several years back. You know what I'm saying? We have Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Schofield. I'm going to provide you some sound bites of just certain voices that were for sure that this fight wasn't going to happen. You know, they're the source of all sources. And then you have Virgil Ortiz, Jerron Ennis. You know, supposedly, you know, I believe Team Ennis listened to what I said, because allegedly, supposedly, expectedly, hypothetically, he may be attending 154 pounds in his debut, which is great, which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But let's get to Conor McGregor right quick, get him out the way. As you all know, Conor McGregor was accused of rape. Yes. Last Friday, 12-day civil trial concluded with the jury ruling that Conor McGregor is liable for a 2018 assault of a woman in Dublin hotel. As a result, McGregor was ordered to pay approximately $250,000 damages to the victim. Nikita, who said McGregor and his friend James Lawrence had sex with her against her will while she was intoxicated during 2 days of partying. The jury found only McGregor liable. On Tuesday, Devlin, who is the mother of McGregor's 4 children, attacked Hans' character in a series of messages on her Instagram story. Imagine a woman with her own boyfriend and child texting provocative pictures of her to another woman's man with a family and child on the way. And this is Conor McGregor's wife writing this. And she has a point now. This woman claims to know me, yet still went ahead and sent messages and pictures of herself and over and over to my man. Really? Wilf's out on a 3-day bender, texting excuses to her own child at home, where mammy is on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, into Monday morning, all while out of her face in a hotel room, dancing around a hotel car park. What sort of woman are you? My sons will be warned. Women like you exist in this world. Ooh, ain't that like a woman scorned? Devlin, who accompanied McGregor on the final day in court, pointed to one specific aspect of the trial as she questioned Hans' version of events. Surveillance footage shows McGregor and Han in a hotel elevator appearing to be affectionate with each other. Han claimed she was intoxicated. While that went on and was taken advantage of, but Devlin went in on her. CCTV, closed circuit television, does not lie, Devlin wrote. I look forward to the day the world will see the footage of you on the night and the carry on of you. Not a bother on you having the time of your life. This is the real evidence. Video footage no one knew was being taken in the moment, which you miraculously don't remember. To me, It looks like you're the one sexually assaulting in this lift. To me, it looks like everyone is trying to get away from you. In her final message, Devlin addressed McGregor's unfaithfulness to her after he admitted to having sex with Hand during the trial, although he maintained it was consensual. Connor and I dealt with these issues probably many years ago, as should be done in a relationship. And we have come out stronger than ever, Devlin wrote. We have 4 beautiful children now whose smiling faces and happy hearts are a testament to who is and who we are. Hey, salute to the lady. She's standing by the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she's hurt inside and everything, but everybody knows McGregor has been out and about. You know what I'm saying? And who am I? I'm not finger pointing at him. But his woman has selected to talk and stand by him. It says in a statement, McGregor 36 expressed regret for cheating on Devlin and reaffirmed his intention to appeal the jury's decision. McGregor has faced consequences outside of the damage he's been ordered to pay. On Tuesday, Proper 12 parent company, Proximo Spirits, announced it would no longer feature McGregor in its association with the brand. Interactive also announced that McGregor's character would be removed from the popular Hitman video game series. As of this writing, the UFC hasn't commented publicly. McGregor hasn't competed in the UFC since July 2021. Lost to Dustin Poirier, in which he suffered a gruesome broken leg. McGregor was scheduled to return against Michael Chandler this past June at UFC 303, but he was forced to withdraw after breaking his toe in training a month before the fight. So Conor McGregor has had his roller coaster ride with no seatbelt, real talk. And it's not the fact that he was on the ride itself and didn't quite know that it had some hills and turns and some quick dips and stuff like that. It's the fact that he volunteered for the treacherous event. He volunteered to be out in them Dublin streets, because let's just call it for what it is. He was able to do something not many fighters was able to do. Cross over to boxing and make several million dollars fighting Floyd Money Mayweather. Wow, he was a 2-division champ over the UFC. Not only that, he was able to then grow from that, because it was tough getting him back to the cage. He started Proper 12 whiskey and everything else. He had the big fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, he went to the stars and beyond when you're talking about money that he never would have made in the UFC. Unbelievable. Legendary run he had to collect those 2 belts, knocking out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, and then stopping Eddie Alvarez, I think, in round 4, knocked him out at lightweight at 155 pounds. And then not only that, but showing these combat specialists that when we're over here in boxing talking about what can't be done and all that whining, bitching, and moaning all the time, grabbing Kleenex boxes, dumping them on your head, you know what I'm saying, wiping your nose with old bed sheets. Conor McGregor went from 145 up to 170 and fought Nate Diaz in 2 fights. He was a champion at 145 pounds. Now that would be considered welterweight, right, in boxing. And he went all the way up to 170, damn near light heavyweight in boxing. Yes, he did. Lost the first one to Nate Diaz, won the second one via decision. Moved back down from 170 to 155. And 155 to be what? Junior middleweight? Huh? Super welterweight? He went all the way back down to 155 and fought Eddie Alvarez, the underground king, for a belt. So that just goes to show you, if you really want to make history and legacy, there's athletes out there like Conor McGregor. Anyway, I just had to throw that little tidbit in there, not to basically put icing over a pile of doo-doo, because that's what Conor McGregor has been a part of. Since he had that money, he's been doing his own thing. He's a part owner at BKFC, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So he has his share of money, investments and stuff like that. But Proper 12 was big. I think they bought the company from him and his partners for like 300 to 600 million, I think. I'm not for sure. Yeah, he was making really good money, and that's one of the reasons why people say it was difficult for him to come back to the square, because he's making millions upon millions. So, how are you going to get back in training camp when you sitting on that much cash, bro? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I hope you get it together. Shout out to Mr. International, Toby Bartlett. What's good? Salute WCS in the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. Happy Thanksgiving to all my brothers and sisters across the pond. Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are across the pond, and Toby and his family and everybody else that is basically filling their appetite. You know what I'm saying? With this Thanksgiving nutrition. You know what I'm saying? The entrees of old. You know what I'm saying? Turkey ham, chitterlings. Yeah. Shout out to the OG Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. What's good with it, Bruce? Happy Thanksgiving to you and the fam, man. I want to move on to the Jerron Ennis. Get him out the way. Don't want to take too much time on it. The Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. reaching an agreement. The agreement is verbal. It says on Boxing News 24, Jerron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz Jr. have reportedly agreed to a fight on February 22nd in Riyadh for Virgil's WBC interim junior title. That's what I'm talking about. That's the only thing I need to know, because you wouldn't have got credit weight drain and Virgil Ortiz down to 147. So he's finally, Jerron Ennis is finally moving up to 154. But yet, I haven't heard or read anything about him vacating that IBF 147-pound title. Now, you're trying to tell me that y'all just going to test the waters? Are you planning on staying there? Or are you just going to say, okay, I'm going to fight for the WBC interim junior title and then just go back down? I mean, we would like to know what's the manifesto. What is on the manifesto for Jerron Ennis? It goes on to say it's still not official, but the two have verbally agreed. Hey, y'all know a verbal agreement. You know what that's like. Taking out an old gum wrapper and writing an IOU on there. Hey, I owe you $150,000. I'm gonna put it on this gum wrapper. Hey, long as you have that gum wrapper, you good. I'll give you that 150. I wrote it on the gum wrapper, 150,000, and that's my initials right there. Keep it. No, it just don't work like that. Verbal agreements can fall apart at any time. You know, it's that paperwork that really locks it in, right? It goes on. Ennis will have to bulk up a little so he can have a chance against the heavy artillery that Virgil will be bombing him with. Boxing Scene's Lance Puckmeyer reports that Ennis, his record and all that, have agreed. Him and Virgil Ortiz have agreed. You got to give Boots credit for bravery in taking this fight, because Virgil Jr. is a cut above and all wrong for him on paper. I don't agree with that. We don't have to give him credit for anything until he actually steps in the ring and takes the fight. It's called challenging yourself. It said, interestingly, Boots and Ortiz Jr. have agreed to fight at 154 because Ennis promoter Eddie Hearn has said in an interview on Tuesday that the fight could be at 147. Ennis needs every chance he can get to win after how he looked in his last fight against Karan Chukazagan on November 9th. There are no words to describe how bad Boots looked in that fight. And just going on to talk about how bad Boots looked. I'm not really here on Thanksgiving to really go through the entire article on how bad he looked, but more so where he's headed. If he's headed to 154, I like it. I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bring his FICO score up anymore, than what it is. Boots is sitting at a cool 536 right now. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that have decent credit, you know what I'm saying, would know that 5 is way low. You're not getting approved for a stack of gum or a goddamn Snicker bar, a pack of Snickers to put them on credit. You're not. You know what I'm saying? A 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, you won't get approved with a 530 credit score. But him moving up to 154 may indeed move the needle. May indeed move the needle. If they're able to lock this in, and it happens February 22nd, and we're going to get to that card, then maybe he can redeem himself, because he needs some redemption. He needs some redemption that's outside the idolatry of boxing. He needs to show the people that he is special. He needs that halo that they put over his head to start radiating, because they deemed him the phenom. They said Jerron Ennis was the phenom. But the halo, every time you look at that phenom halo, it's not fully lit. You know what I'm saying? It must have had some small LED bulbs in there that was blown. The phenom halo hasn't been bright enough for us to start bragging about Boots. This fight with Virgil Ortiz will do it. I'm not gonna lie, Virgil Ortiz has been in there in some tough fights. His resume is better than Boots. It would be Boots' biggest step up today. Yes, sir. It would be Boots' biggest step up to date. No doubt about it. Him moving to 154. Virgil Ortiz at one point in time was ranked higher than Boots at 147 pounds. He has since moved up after a long layoff, came back, had a very short fight. And then most recently, Sergey Bulchuk, that was a very tough knock him out. Cowboy to cowboy. Gunfight. Gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? Two fighters. Mano a mano. It was a very exciting fight. You know, Virgil Ortiz touched the canvas twice, but he showed that he's you know, he has that courage, man. He has that grit to dig down. Virgil Ortiz, he has a very exciting fight. I like his tenaciousness. Real talk. I like how he grinded out. And for Jerron Ennis, that'll be his toughest fight if it does happen. You know what I'm saying? Just keep our eyes and ears open for that. And lastly, there was so many people speaking about Schofield not fighting Shakur Stevenson, because more so they was just out here wishing for the worst. You know what I'm saying? We was hoping that somehow, some way, we had something to look forward to in Riyadh season, in U.S. season, in, you know, late winter, early spring season. Now something has came out of a proposed February 22nd Riyadh card with Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker, Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield, Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, Hamzat Shiraz versus Carlos Adames, and Jelly Zhang versus Ajit Caballero. The one I want to talk about is the Floyd Schofield Shakur Stevenson, because there was a lot of doubters up here that was talking a lot, and they have taken to basically, they can't make up their mind. Usually it's the dark-skinned fighters, you know what I'm saying, who get the wrath of criticism on this YTC. But Schofield is not dark-skinned. So like I said this before, you know how WCS itemize, I itemize the criticism. I try to layer it up. I try to peel it back like an onion, goddammit. Shakur Stevenson ain't dark skinned either, but they was on his helmet, right? Yeah, they was on his neck, tapping, stomping up and down with steel toe boots on. Now that Shakur Stevenson is potentially linking up with Schofield, they did the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, y'all. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Snatch a boxer by the toe. They said, who are we going to support? Oh, man, well, we don't like Schofield's father. We like Wally Moses, Shakur grandfather, more than we do Schofield Sr. So we're going to go with Shakur Stevenson, even though we've been talking shit about him being a boring ass fighter and we don't want to see him fight. So we're going to go with Shakur Stevenson and we're just going to dog out Schofield. So that's what's been going on. Let me play some audio from KO Boxing 86 TV. Cause I just heard this on the airways. Then I have one more. And this is no this is no knock on him. And those of you that's listening, don't go dropping links and being a goddamn YTC snitch on Thanksgiving. Okay. Don't do that. Take some days off. You know, take a leave of absence day. Stop being a little snitch. Seriously. You know, wait the next month when Sanders needs some volunteer helpers to run down that chimney. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can drop them presents up on the Christmas tree. And wait then. But let me let y'all listen to this audio right quick.
Schofield ain't even in the WBC rankings.
Yeah, correct. But anybody who's followed boxing that KO knows that these fighters can be injected, inserted, however they feel like. We've seen boxing in other sanctioning bodies, and they put them in there to make it work. So this shouldn't even be a topic of discussion unless you was going to talk about both sides. The fact that he's not in the WBC rankings and the fact that he can absolutely be placed. It is not impossible.
Until they pay to get him in the rankings, wake me up then, because Shakur is not able, he's not allowed to fight someone that's not in the top 15 of the WBC rankings.
Well, wake him up before we go. February 22nd is coming soon. Wake him up before he know they might fight on Riyadh season, yo.
So the fight can't even happen based on WBC rules until Schofield enters into the rankings.
Now we talking. Now we cooking that Thanksgiving gumbo until he entered the rankings. And you know what? Did I show early? Ta-da! You think in Riyadh season they're not going to make that work? You think Turkey Al-Sheikh is not going to make this happen? Yes, it seems like it's going to happen, the KO, for real. It seems like it's going to happen.
Business-wise, Oscar De La Hoya has William Zepeda and Floyd Schofield at the 135-pound division. He's the reason him and Zepeda just ducked. Do you think that Floyd Schofield signed with Golden Boy instead of PBC, signed with Golden Boy instead of Top Rank because he wanted smoke? I tell y'all all the time, y'all just like fighters that talk good, bro.
Well, look, let me slice this up, right? Okay. A solid point made. I wouldn't agree that I would have went that route, but maybe possibly. He's talking about who they signed with. And then he wants to bring in William Zepeda, who was never locked in for Shakur Stevenson. You all was out here wrangling that narrative, thinking he was going to freaking be locked in. And that was going to be the next fight after he finished with Tevin Farmer. You all are the responsible for that. So now you're trying to say, oh, William Zepeda, who's over there, duck Shakur Stevenson. So William Zepeda, who y'all claim and who many will sit up and claim has a better resume, you all will assume that he's a better fighter than Schofield, right? Because he has much more experience, many more knockouts, right? You all were assuming that he was going to be next. Even Shakur was assuming, and he came up with a hurt hand. And look, same old thing. Y'all say he's ducking. The man has a hurt hand. He's ducking. So then you all go and crap on Schofield. Y'all was boosting up the non-black, but when it came to the black fighter, Schofield, possibly being next, y'all wanted to shut him down and shit on him. Y'all didn't want to give this man no credit, no type of motion to get the fight with Shakur Stevenson.
And some of y'all like daddy, like fighters with daddies and shit that talk good, and because they'll go to your YouTube channel or they go to your favorite YouTube channel, you cap and cape for him and shit. When in reality, that boy ain't in the WBC rankings. He can't fight that motherfucker, man. When in
and you would think somebody who hung around long enough to know that boxing can make anything possible. It's according to who have hands in it. Who's really trying to push for this fight to become official? Boxing can make a lot happen. Come on, it's the hocus pocus of combat sports, that KO. Learning from the professor, this is free game, bro. Did you actually think that boxing cannot make a fight like this happen? Huh? Did you just not see a 58-year-old man go in there against a 27-year-old? Have you not seen boxers in the past lose and still stay high in the rankings just to set up another fight? Yeah, you've been around long enough.
Reality, Oscar De La Hoya not finna set, man, he not finna set Schofield up. His second most prized possession at 135 pounds. DP, are you with me? DP Rocker, what up? RBs, what up? He finna feed that boy to Shakur like that, bro. Y'all really believe this nigga finna go from Renee to Les Giron to Shakur Stevens? That shit don't even sound right. Watch this, bro.
I'm just saying. I was flashing the proposed fight card in Riyadh season. Basically highlighting the guy, Turkey Al-Sheikh, who has been making fights happen because he has the resources, that liquid resource. I'm talking about that monetary liquid resource that it may not be, look, it may not come out green, but the value of it, once it goes through the whole, maturation process, and you know what I'm saying, it starts to form. You find out that liquid turns into green. You know what I'm saying? And that green is deep. We're not talking about whales. We're not talking about no hand-built whale. We're talking about something they have to pump out the ground. So that money is different. So when you got money like that in boxing that's not regulated, they can pretty much become a magician. They can make what seems to be the impossible happen. It's easy work. Easy work. Because boxing evolves around business, and business evolves around money.
Watch this, bro. Watch this shit.
So he's about to go through Floyd Schofield's resume. And like, once again, the KO. If you look at on this screen, one of the proposed fights is Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield. You need to understand, if you're going to follow boxing as long as you have along with others, that you can never think that boxing cannot make the impossible possible. Okay, there? This is free Thanksgiving holiday consultation. Okay, brother?
Watch this shit, bro. Just wait. You think this young man gonna go from Pascal Rhodes to Ricardo Lopez Torres to Esturi Ciro to Renee Teles Giron to fucking Shakur Stevens?
This one analytics settings error cost a company $1 million.
The man is 2 fights removed from fighting dudes with 7 fucking losses in fucking journeyman. He's not fighting fucking Shakur. Oscar De La Hoya is not giving anybody to Shakur unless Shakur would have signed to Golden Boy, just like I told y'all.
So, KO came on here and said what Oscar isn't doing. There has been credible evidence to say that the YTC has individuals that would speak as if they know what's going on at the table, but there's no way that can be entirely true when you're not sitting at the table, nor are you on the conference calls. So since you are speculating from afar, it seems like you might be wrong. So what I would suggest you do is do a follow-up video and pretty much allow the people to hear you say that, yes, I've learned something in boxing, that they can pretty much make certain things that seem impossible possible to happen, because that's boxing, especially when you have someone new that's venturing over into the boxing arena that has the finances to move that goddamn needle. You know what I'm saying? Turkey Al-Sheikh has the finances to move the needle.
And then you look at the play, bro.
What's the play?
It's like, yo, contact Turkey. Tell Oscar to contact Turkey. Why Oscar can't contact Eddie? Y'all see what matchroom? You see what sign in the matchroom do? This nigga signed somewhere where Eddie got to go to Turkey. Turkey got to go to Oscar, and everybody got to hope Oscar and Floyd play ball. But here's the real shit.
What's the real shit, man?
Here's the real shit.
What's the real shit, man?
He's number 2 in the WBA KO trying to fight the WBC champion.
Okay.
He's number 2 in the WBA trying to fight the WBC champion.
So those of you that have been following boxing understands that there's been fighters who were in the rankings and have was automatically moved. I'm going to give you a prime example from someone who was an adamant fan. KO was an adamant fan of Terrence Crawford. I mean, my fault. I'm just being a little facetious. Errol Spence Jr. He was a fan of Errol Spence Jr., right? So if Errol Spence Jr. don't have any titles at 147, and there's no statute of limitations for you to lose your titles and then still hold some type of lineal, some type of transparent lineal title or a Texas DeSoto title, anything like that, right? How was he moved up from 147 to 154 to get in line? I don't want to hear nothing about no promoter or anything like that. All I'm saying is it's possible for boxing to present you with magic. You just don't know who's the magician, because boxing is not a single entity. It's just boxing's everywhere. So you can have multiple magicians that's a part of the hocus pocus and make this shit happen. But how would Errol Spence Jr. move up to 154 and be in line for a title shot right off the rip in his debut if he doesn't have it's nowhere that he should have been in the rankings? They just massaged his name into the rankings. They just basically etched his name in the rankings. How? If they want something to move, they will make him move, period.
But this is how you know for sure. People tell on themselves all the time when you let them talk.
Okay. You got that
when
right.
You let people talk, they tell on themselves all the time. They expose themselves to be haters sometimes. They expose themselves to be emotional.
What they got to do with boxing?
Beta men, right?
Get to the point, man. Get to the point.
They expose themselves that they don't want no smoke.
Get to the point.
All the time. And they'll also expose, like Floyd Schofield.
Okay.
And his daddy accidentally did when they were talking to Fight Hype, that they don't want no smoke for real and they ain't got no control over their career.
So they exposed to Fight Hype. They don't want no smoke and they have no control over their career. But they have been a father and son tandem that's been out here calling out Shakur Stevenson. Calling him out, said they'll step up to the plate. Said they want the fight since William Cepeda is not happening. You know, we want the fight. So I'm not believing this at all because I just haven't seen it. I've been paying attention. You know what I'm saying? I understand if it was ripples in the pond or not. And what he been talking about, it's been white cap waves. Schofield's been goddamn putting white caps out there. It's been rough war. They've been calling out Shakur, said, we want this fight. We want this fight. Even before William Cepeda stepped in there with Tevin Farmer. And Shakur showed up on them, and, you know, and you know, was trying to tell them, hey, man, what's going on? This, that, and the other, and all that. And then they was talking back and forth. Now it seems like it's coming to fruition just a little bit more. It's a bit clearer since they put a proposed matchup. That means Turkey is working his magic. I'm not saying he's one of the magician, but Turkey is working that magic.
Watch this. Just watch.
Have you heard about the salt trick that's
this for educational purposes? Salute the Fight Hype for the interview and the great interview that they did. They asked the right questions, so it ain't none of them. But
I'm not going into the interview part of it. I just wanted to let you hear what KO had to say about that. And granted, you know, the shakers and movers and role players in boxing can make a lot of stuff happen. For real. They can make a lot of stuff happen. I thought he would know that already, as much as he say he know about boxing and being he's the man of 1,622 debates. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought he would know that already. But happy Thanksgiving, brother. Next. What's the other one I want to use? The other sound bite. Let's listen to this guy right here. Even though he's not on as much as he could, and it may be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you was the one that your boy, and I'm not going to never let it die, that you sat there and vouched for him about that Errol Spencer Crawford fight. And you vouched for him. And we made a bet. And that dude still haven't paid up. And even when I put a comment in your chat, you deleted the comment. You know what I'm saying? That's some bitch assness right there. For real. Well, let's look at ETB, man. Let's look at ETB and what he had to say. Okay?
Floyd, man. Floyd really want that smoke with Shakur. Man, all of this shit is fake. It's for the internet. That's why he's showing fake DMs and then posting it on the internet.
You know, some of these dudes, man, they don't want to believe it. They up here pushing a narrative. If their fighter is not signed to the right promotion, they sit up here and just flat out deny everything they have going on. These are people that wasn't really rocking heavy with Shakur. They pick and choose. They pick and choose, bro, on who they want to rock heavy with. They pick and choose. So now we have a situation coming up with the Schofields, who just came off a fight, and it was a action-packed, dramatic, suspenseful fight. You know, his dad had to get on Schofield for banging out when he should have been boxing. His opposition never been stopped before. You know, so he was a tough Mexican fighter. You know, very durable, very, very respectable, certified chin. And Schofield Jr. said, I wanted to go in there and goddamn try to put these hands on him and stop him. He ain't never been knocked out. And, you know, I can see where he from, man. Young cockstrong, you know, bull in the game, trying to show people, hey, I'm exciting. I'm not like the other guy. I'm exciting. I want you all to come see me. I'm exciting. Let's continue.
Like, come on, man. Like he's gonna tell Oscar De La Hoya. Like, it's funny for those who haven't seen it. Floyd Schofield's pops posted a fake DM that he supposedly sent Oscar and said, "Oh yeah, we hurt Shakur Stevenson really bad, Oscar. When we sparred, we hurt him really bad, and we know we can knock him out. That's the fight that we want next. So give us that." Man, stop fucking capping for the internet.
He said it was capping for the internet. Well, like I showed you before, this is a proposed February 22nd Riyadh card. And Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield is tentatively on the proposal. But yet, we have the voices, the naysayers out here that doesn't believe it, but yet it is on the proposed fight card for February 22. First semester 2025, over.
First of all, Shakur got them on live and made them admit that they was capping. Made Floyd Schofield and his daddy admit that I think Shakur dropped the nigga with a body shot. Made him admit the shit when he pulled up on him. And they was just sitting there when Shakur pulled up on him on the live stream. I think it was Greg Hackett's shit, right? They sitting there and Shakur checked all of that shit.
What that has to do with this fight, though? Schofield's trying to fight Shakur Stevenson. What is the capping and the sparring? You know, some of you niggas get wrapped up in this sparring talk. It's just sparring talk at the end of the day. Some of it mean it has value to it. Some of it don't. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about what that proposal looked like. You all up here saying they was capping, they didn't want no part of Shakur, but they have his name in ranks to potentially face Shakur Stevenson. Floyd Schofield to potentially face Shakur Stevenson. They have his name up there now, proposed.
They ain't had none of that shit to say. Oh, they was on some, well, we know you're a great fighter. Yeah, well, and they sitting up there smiling like, damn, you caught us in the lie. We didn't think you was going to pull up on us like that. So all that shit's a lie. For those newsflash, for those who believe in this shit, Floyd Schofield is.
Your competitors will wish they had known.
He'll call him a prospect, right? But he ain't even that good of a prospect. Oh, okay. It was cigar talk. My bad. It was on Najee shit, cigar talk, right? Floyd Schofield is still a prospect. I would call him. To me, he's not that good of a prospect, right? He's not that good of a prospect. He's still struggling with, C- level competition. Struggling with, we seen his last fight. I didn't see other fights with him,
So they're calling Schofield a prospect at 18 victories in, right? And these are individuals that supposedly know boxing, right? But if you go to when Shakur Stevenson fought Joet Gonzalez for the vacant, right? Joet Gonzalez was 23 victories in, 0 defeats, right? And who was calling Joet Gonzalez? Who was it? Who had him as one of their best fighters? It's not too many. But shout out to Shakur Stevenson, silver champion. But check this out. His next fight after winning the WBO featherweight vacant title back in October 2019, Shakur Stevenson's next fight was against Felix Caraballo, 13-1-2. Explain that, ETB. Explain how you're talking about he's a prospect and he's not that good of a prospect. And Shakur stopped this man in 6 rounds. He went from a 12-rounder to a 10-rounder and stopped Felix Caraballo in 6 rounds out of a 10-round fight. Caraballo down. This is Shakur Stevenson now in rounds 1 and round 6. So how much of a first defense was that? Let's get to the real fights as to why y'all criticize Shakur Stevenson whenever y'all freaking feel like it. But yeah, he's going in there against Floyd Schofield Jr. Y'all want to show him love now. We want to get back on the side of Shakur Stevenson. Hey, check this out though. What about Toga Kunklari? One of Shakur Stevenson's boring fight. That's when they started to get a taste. That's when they started to get a taste of Mr. I want to keep my space, Shakur Stevenson. Nope, can't hit me. Toga Kunklari, that was barely any freaking contact going on there. This is coming off of Felix Caraballo. It's not like he took a lot of punishment from Caraballo. It's just the fact he walked in there with Toga Kunklari 28-2. Unknown. This was at the MGM Grand, and it wasn't an exciting fight. And then he went right to his next fight from December 2020 to June 2021 and fought the law enforcement from in his country, Jeremiah Nakathilia, and he stunk the place up again in his second straight fight. Even though he did drop Nakathilia in round 4, I'm just saying those are 2 fights that you're talking about prospects. 28-2. 28-2. He went the distance. Who had them on their favorite list? Jeremiah Nakathilia. Who had him on their favorite fighters list? 21-1. Who? This is when he was moving up to super feather. I'm just saying, y'all up here shitting on Floyd Schofield, talking about he's not even a good prospect, but yet Shakur Stevenson fought Yoshino 16-0 in his first fight at 135, and I didn't hear none of y'all talking about, oh my God, Yoshino is 16-0. He's not even a good prospect. Y'all didn't say nothing about it. Why did Shakur fight Yoshino in his first fight at 135? And Floyd Schofield had just as many fights as Yoshino. And y'all saying he's not even that good of a prospect. What about Edwin De Los Santos? 16-1 when Shakur fought him. They say he stunk the place up because he wouldn't fight. So that was his third fight, stinking the joint up, right? And people was getting mad and saying, hey, he don't want to engage. He don't want to take risk. But then it come out, oh, I had a hurt hand. I had a hurt hand again. You know, I fought him with one hand. That was November 23rd. And then he goes into 2024, July this year, and he fights Artem. Oh, he had a hurt hand again. But he pushed the pace. He had to get surgery. But Edwin De Los Santos was 16-1. Was he a good prospect? Let's look at Edwin De Los Santos for a minute. You know what I'm saying? For real. Edwin De Los Santos, before he fought Shakur Stevenson, and check this out now. Check this out. They was fighting for a vacant WBC lightweight world title, the former belt of Devin Haney. Edwin De Los Santos had fought Joseph Adorno. He was 17-2-2. Is that a better record than Floyd Schofield? Okay. He fought Jose Valenzuela. Okay. 12-0, yo. 12-0. At the time, 12-0. Valenzuela down once in round 2 and 3. De Los Santos down once in round 2 and deducted a point for hitting Valenzuela after he was down. He ended up winning that fight in the third round. Did y'all look at Valenzuela as one of the next best touted rising stars at 12-0? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What about 12-0 Luis Acosta? This is Edwin De Los Santos now, because y'all up here shitting on freaking Floyd Schofield, but he's 18-0. And he's not doing anything different than these fighters. He's even giving you more. He's trying to go in there and impress. What about William Foster III? 13-0. These fighters are not even up there 18-0 yet. And this is Shakur Stevens, one of his common opponents. And y'all not even doing anything except giving this man praise because he got a little punching power. I get it, man. People get confused, bro.
That happened down, earlier that he struggled. And ain't no way that a promoter like Oscar De La Hoya, we've seen Oscar's track record. We've seen how he builds his fighters. He doesn't build his fighters by letting them get in the ring with killers and just, like, oh, well, whatever happened, gonna happen. He don't build his fighters up. Floyd Schofield is a fighter that is signed to him that he's trying to build up to maybe be a big attraction down the line. I don't think it'll never happen because he's just not that good of a fighter to me. And I've been saying this for years now, right? But
he's just not that good of a fighter. So you're just going to say, okay, he's just not that good of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He just don't have it. You don't see any progress for a 22-year-old fighter. 22 years of age. You're saying Floyd Schofield is not that good of a fighter this young in the game. That's crazy. And because you have a lot of young fighters that's in the goddamn game, bro. This dude's 18-0, 12 knockouts. It's not like he don't have punching power. But when it comes to you all comparing him to face Shakur Stevenson, who else did you want him to fight? Frank Martin bailed out of the fight there, ETB. He said that he's going to fight Tank. Tank is a bigger name than Shakur Stevenson. Where did y'all get with that? What did that get y'all? Frank Martin dipped out and went and fought Gervonta Davis. Does that make him a poor prospect? Did that decision make y'all want to despise him because he dipped out? For real, he dipped out. He didn't fight Shakur Stevenson. But see, y'all are up here trying to, put this off like it's boxing talk. But really, y'all don't like Schofield singing. That's all. Y'all up here trying to hate on the kid just because y'all don't like Schofield Jr., who tried to go in there and actually put his punches together and make something happen. He want to give you the drama that you look for in a fight. Yeah, it might be a little sloppy sometime, but 22 years of age, you don't think this man has no potential? Man, that sound like DKSAB right there, bro.
he's not going to put Floyd Schofield, being his promoter, in that type of a fight. Floyd Schofield's father is not going to put his son in that type of fire, knowing that his son ain't nowhere near ready for that type of smoke.
See, I would. This is Thanksgiving. I'm not planning on staying here this long, right? But see, ETB, I would pull the receipts on what's your the thoughts that you had on Teofimo Lopez, and when he was rising up to get that title shot with Richard Comey, when he went in there with Masayoshi Nakatani at 13 for his 13th professional fight, 18-0 Masayoshi Nakatani, and he beat him. I would say his 14th, and then went in there with Richard Comey in his 15th fight. 15 fights. That's less than what Floyd Schofield had right now. And they were saying, "Oh man, well, T.O. he ain't nothing special." You know what I'm saying? They was up here busy up there hating on Teofimo Lopez because he wouldn't fight Devin Haney. They're saying he ran from a supposedly WBC tournament. That's just like saying, "Hey man, so and so's breaking ground over there to build that new facility. You go over there and ain't nothing happening. Oh, they're gonna get on it next week." No, so-and-so's on a whole different location breaking ground. Teofimo went the IBF route and y'all was dogging the man out. Talking about, "Oh man, I don't know what route he on, but he ducked Devin Haney. All alone, he beats Richard Comey in 15 fights. And then his 16th fight, he go in there against Lomachenko. And you was up here saying, no, it ain't no way he gonna beat Lomachenko. He ain't ready. It's too early." I'm not comparing Schofield to Teofimo. But all I'm saying is it comes a time and place when these young bulls is in the game. Y'all got to give them credit. You have to give them credit for taking risk and challenges. It may look sloppy, but with it being sloppy, they have an opportunity to look at film and clean the shit up. You never want them to look a little sloppy, to have something to critique themselves. Not every fighter, even Tank. Y'all sit up here and dog the shit out of Tank. When Tank can fight off the back foot, he can come forward, use his lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? He has damn near power in both hands. You know what I'm saying? He has defense, has a certified chin. And y'all still dog him out. Y'all still talk about the same shit. He too short. He too small. If so-and-so's getting in on close on him, you know what I'm saying? He might get knocked out. When has Tank been on the ground anyway?
And Floyd Schofield himself know that he's not on that level. So with all that being said, they know this. But they also know that they need to keep their name amongst the best fighters in their division, right? To keep their name growing. They know that if you know how to run your social media, right? If you know how to get a buzz on social media, running your mouth and get people to, care about what you're saying, and you say certain shit, your name is going to get bigger, right?
Okay. So ETB is just talking out the side of his face, right? You know what I'm saying? And goddamn, tell your boy to pay me my $1,000 while you're up here wasting my goddamn time today. So Floyd Schofield, right? Hold on for a second. One of what we know about Floyd Schofield that people was complaining about is that he doesn't have mobile phone and stuff like that. He's not allowed to be on social media and shit like that, right? And it's a good thing because it is a distraction. What is ETB talking about? Social media. They like talking. You talking about visiting someone's channel? Okay, cool. But they're not on here. The people you should be criticizing is the ones that entertain the haters and the trolls on here all the time and get mad and sit up here and say, I don't like this and that about social media, but they always at the door looking for comp tickets. They always in there. They always attending the drama. They love it. So you can't say that about Floyd Schofield, want anything to do with being a social media hype. What we can say about Schofield is that he's ranked in 3 sanctioning bodies out of 4. 3/4 of the sanctioning bodies, he's ranked. Are you not mentioning that when you say that he ain't gonna never be? How is he ranked? And you're saying this man is not gonna be anything special. He's 22 years of age, yo. 22 years of age, but you's the one up here hyping Jerron Ennis up. Man has 32 victories in the game. Haven't fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Y'all sitting up here finding an easy target to dog Schofield out when he's trying to take a risk. I don't know if he's gonna beat Shakur. I don't know. But it seems like there's some heavy-handed people out there that's trying to basically make this fight card next year give the people something they want over in Riyadh.
This is how you build yourself as a boxer in 2024. They know that you don't necessarily have to show it in the ring. If you can talk it and you can make people believe the shit, even though when they see you fight.
I think I've tried about 30.
Opposite from what you're saying, you struggling with C- level opponents. But who is the best fighter to place your name with that people will actually believe some shit? Shakur. Because even if they really don't believe it, they can pretend like they believe it on social media because he is the most hated fighter out of any fighter, right?
Cap. Shakur Stevens is not the most hated fighter out of every fighter. Come on, man. Come on. You're trying to tell me just a year plus removed, Terrence Crawford wasn't the most hated fighter, and y'all, as much as y'all shitting on that man on your platform, how all of a sudden Shakur Stevenson has assumed the role of the most hated fighter in boxing? That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. We can't sit up here and say Shakur Stevens is the most hated fighter when you're trying to make a comparison as to the qualifications of Floyd Schofield Jr. Nobody gives a fuck if he goddamn the most hated fighter. The most hated fighters, if you're a champion, you're going to get called out. If it's no names, William Cepeda selected not to engage, just like Shakur Stevenson has in some of his fights, right? Because he has a hand injury. This is nothing new for Shakur Stevenson. Why y'all faking the funk? Chris, look, Frank Martin left, went to Tank. William Cepeda finished with Tevin Farmer, and they mad because he has a hand injury. But yet, Shakur Stevenson pulled out of the Joe Cordina fight, a fighter who fought at 130 to come up to 135. He pulls out of the Joe Cordina fight. Why? Because of hand issues. So what are you talking about? What are y'all talking about, man? I need to ask this. Are y'all on that eggnog, man? Are you over there goddamn dipping turkey in that Hennessy? What are y'all talking about, man? You had a fighter that y'all assumed that was going to fight Shakur Stevenson. You all assumed that. It wasn't on paper, just like this fight card in Riyadh is proposed. The reason why it has a little bit more weight behind it because he has the cheddar. He has the monetary means to bring this card to fruition. He can balance out whatever the discrepancy these fighters has about getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He can placate them. He can bring them to a reasonable conclusion. Yeah, I'll fight for that. But come on, man. Shakur was about to fight Joe Cordina, and ETB wasn't up here, talking all this. Oh, well, he's never going to be anything. Joe Cordina, why is he picking Joe Cordina for 130? Why? Huh? Why? Why is he picking that? Because y'all want to say Tank ducking him, right? But he pulls out of the Cordina fight because he has hand problems. The same hand problems that he said he had with Edwin De Los Santos. I'm just saying. But y'all shitting on Schofield Jr. who's healthy enough to go in there and fight. Maybe y'all should stop looking at, the exterior of these fighters sometime and look at the durability, because dude is 22 years of age and he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. It seemed like y'all hating.
And they know that Shakur is going to entertain the shit. Shakur going to clap back. So I don't have a problem with what Floyd Schofield and his pops is doing to build themselves and make a bigger name for themselves, right? Because
wasn't he just talking about like he had a problem with it? Fighters just talking online and all that. But yet, pull up his IG account. Pull up Floyd Schofield Jr.'s IG account. Tell me what you're talking about.
Understand what they're doing. I understand that shit all fake. I understand that they capping. I understand they're promoting themselves, right? I understand that this is how fighters promote themselves today. The problem I have is that we got a bunch of gullible motherfuckers that actually believe this shit, that actually follow boxing and follow the YouTube channels and follow what's going on in boxing, and y'all still fall for shit like this.
And don't forget your channel too. Don't forget your channel. You know what I'm saying? I done seen plenty of motherfuckers go over there and take a shit and goddamn don't spray or nothing. Don't even flush that motherfucker and leave. Don't forget your channel.
See this shit go on constantly in boxing. He's just not on that level. And I would tell you the same thing about Keyshawn Davis. If I saw Keyshawn Davis fight, and I'm like, man, Keyshawn kind of trash. He's struggling with C- level opponents. But Keyshawn is a gold medalist, right?
See what I'm talking about? Hey, I always have, a reason for what I do. They want to talk, right? They want to talk and they'll say what they want to say. But I'm just saying, that's just like hearing that other guy say that, Errol Spence knocked out Danny Garcia. Look, I had to close it down with the gravy on top of the turkey. You know what I'm saying? What did y'all just hear him say? I mean, hey, ETB, maybe you're a little bit too old, because you say you had some birthdays in the last time. Maybe you're a little bit too old. Your mind is going bad, because I think you'll be the first one to say, "Oh, you're an old nigga," because I heard you mention some old nigga shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Are you getting old? Let's go back and listen to that again. Let's go back and listen to that again, because we don't know. Andy Cruz is just an imposter, a clone, a fighter that they believe through AI editing he was in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, but really it was two Shakur Stevensons, y'all. I had to put the goddamn cranberry on top of that motherfucker. Let's go back and listen to this again.
What's going on in boxing, and y'all still fall for shit like this. When you see this shit go on constantly in boxing, he's just not on that level. And I would tell you the same thing about Keyshawn Davis. If I saw Keyshawn Davis fight, and I'm like, man, Keyshawn kind of trash. He's struggling with C- level opponents. But Keyshawn is a gold medalist, right? Keyshawn know he ain't gonna get no fight with Tank next.
Hey, I don't have to go any further, y'all. Keyshawn Davis is a gold medalist on Thanksgiving. Wow. And all this time, I was up here putting Visine in my motherfucking eyes. I say, is that a silver medal or a gold medal? God damn. I'm going colorblind. I need to go to the doctor. I need to get my goddamn prescription changed in these focus. Let me see what I'm talking about. Let me wipe my eyes. Don't cry. Dry your eye. There goes one of those other guys. Let me see. I'm looking at a screenshot right now. People, I'm looking at a screenshot right now. Let me see. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I want to show you something right quick. I know everyone's getting prepared. If you am already, you're not already intoxicated, and all that. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. But I want to show you something right quick. Okay. All right. Okay. I want to show you something, because you know, this ain't the first time ETB has been on here rambling on like he knows about boxing. And I'm not taking any shots at ETB. I just want my $1,000 from a person that you vouch for. Until then, I will always see you and make sure I take a full 30-inch step. Yeah, for real. This right here, just as I just want to show this right quick to you. There, ETB. And to the listeners. This right here, y'all. Shout out to Getty Images. That's Keyshawn to the far left. That is Andy Cruz. There's only two people. I don't care about the bronze medalists. But in history, it has shown that the gold medalist stands in the middle. Why? Because that is supposed to be the highest out of the three. It holds the highest value. It has gold, silver, and bronze. Okay. So even though there's somewhat similarities between the guy in the middle and the guy to his left, right? Andy Cruz was the gold medalist. Okay. Keyshawn Davis, obviously, the way that medal is reflecting off the light from the room, that is a silver. Nothing wrong with the silver. Respect to Keyshawn. I'm just, somewhat correcting ETB. You know what I'm saying? Who said that Keyshawn is the gold medalist. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's his old age. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's it.
But I do believe that Keyshawn really believes that he can beat Tank Davis. Whether he can or he can't, I believe that Keyshawn believes everything that he's saying. And
okay, so he believes that Keyshawn believes that he can beat Gervonta Davis off the belief system. Keyshawn will continue to believe that he can call out what he believed to fight Gervonta Davis in his belief system of believing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what ETB is trying to say. To believe and not to believe is the question of whether he was a gold or silver champion to basically qualify him to step up and think and believe he can ready for Gervonta Davis and all this other stuff. Bro, it's people here saying that Keyshawn Davis, even as an Olympian, is not ready for Tank Davis. It's various amount of people that believes Keyshawn Davis is not ready for Tank Davis. But due to his popularity and what he's been able to amass, and last time I checked, right, Floyd Schofield still have more fights than Keyshawn Davis. Now, granted, it's always resume comparisons, but I'm just putting it out there.
Keyshawn get in the ring and he's able to back up everything that he's saying by his performances, right? If you know boxing, you can see the skill set that Keyshawn Davis has. He's, like I said, he's an Olympic silver medalist.
He corrected that old age kicked in, that caffeine that redirected itself. You know what I'm saying? They had to go up there and accost some of those neurotransmitters that didn't quite carry the message over the synapses gap the first time when you were saying go. It's good that you recovered, but you're showing ages, you're showing signs of pugilistica. You know what I'm saying? Whoever, goddamn putting them paws on you at work, tell them to chill, put some headgear on, dog.
He has the accolades. Floyd Schofield, you see the exact opposite. You see him get in the ring and struggle against C- level opponents. He don't have the Olympic pedigree.
He doesn't have the Olympic pedigree. That shouldn't even be a question. For real, that shouldn't even be a question. When we talk about Olympic pedigree, why, if someone who didn't go to the Olympics, why are you speaking on them about having an Olympic pedigree? There's been several fighters that get beat. Robeisy Ramirez, he had a hell of a fight against Rafael Espinosa. Olympic pedigree, right? There's been several. What about Yurkis Gamboa? Keyshawn is 12-0, 8 knockouts. Floyd Schofield may not have the Olympic pedigree, but he has 18 victories. And he has more knockouts than Keyshawn. But check this out. You say Keyshawn goes in there and does what he does, but he had to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He had to start somewhere. The 4-2, the 10-1, the 7-4, the 83. He had to start somewhere. And the good thing about Keyshawn that's braggadocious about his record is that none of his opponents has losing records. But when you talk about the performance value, at one point in time, when he was heading in there with Nair Albright, right? And he won a close decision in 10 round, 95, 95, 96, 94, 97, 93. Y'all was on here criticizing the shit out of him. And that fight was changed to a no contest because he popped positive. And that was the fight back in October 2023, which was just last year, right? That he decided, I got to change my life around. I got to fight. You know, I got to get myself together. I got to leave the wheel on. Even he went through a transition. Whereas Floyd Schofield, you don't hear nothing about no weed. You don't hear nothing about him drinking. And y'all don't even give the young bull a little chance, you know, a chance to, you know, at 22 years of age to jump into the motherfucking bullpen. You know what I'm saying? He want to jump in the bullpen. He want to show you what's good. I'm just saying.
In the accolades. And he just don't show that he's that good of a fighter like that. So use your common sense.
Use your common sense, y'all. Like we deal with common sense in boxing all the time. If a lot of us used our common sense, the YTC wouldn't be full of foolish individuals if we used our common sense. Because common sense will tell them that they talking some bullshit. Common sense. But a lot of people don't use their common sense on the YTC. They just come up here and ramble on and create shit. Ex parte wheelbarrow ass narratives. They push around this motherfucker. And it happens all the time. And then when they're wrong, they don't come back and do a reaction to it. You know, you busy see and hear people shitting on other fighters. I don't find criticism to be shitting on other fighters. It's just when you're saying that you don't think someone at 22 has room to improve. How can you say they don't have room to improve just because they're calling out one of your favorite fighters? And some of you all don't even really give Shakur talking about, hey man, I like Shakur, but I give him credit too. I'll check him if I got to check him and all this other shit. Man, come on, bro. Y'all know y'all was just not too long ago shitting on him for the freaking Toka Conclar and Nakathilia fight. And then when he went in there with a puncher like Edwin De Los Santos coming off a stoppage of Jose Valenzuela, what you say? Shakur Stevens, he's stinking up the place. He was this, you know, they got pictures of people walking out and, you know, he's just a boring fighter and he's this, that. I'm like, what? The fighter that you're praising was about to fight Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina wasn't, I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm just saying like, he wasn't a name that someone had on their Rolodex or their list of top fighters that they rock with heavy in boxing. And then the fight was supposedly locked in and he pulls out for a hand injury. William Cepeda, hand injury. So it's okay that Shakur Stevenson pulled out for a hand injury, but William Cepeda can't. If William Cepeda does, he's ducking Shakur Stevenson. And then you want to say Schofield is wrong for stepping and sliding in the spot for legacy? Say, I want to fight. You got fighters up here being friends and companions and confidants in the sport of combat. And y'all sitting up here shitting on Floyd Schofield when you got bosom buddies. I don't think that fight ever happened. He's my friend to the end. Not like Chucky. You know, Keyshawn and Shakur, man, is deeper than boxing, bro. Bro, it's deeper than boxing, man. You got possibly two cats is gonna be finessing themselves through the visions. What if Keyshawn does beat Baranchak? That's supposed to be up next. Great fight. But what are you gonna say? You know what I'm saying? When you have two champions, y'all gonna continue to focus on Tank? Seriously. Come on, bro. What if you know, Floyd Schofield Jr. go in there and really put on a magnificent performance against Shakur Stevenson? What next? Y'all gonna talk about if he won or not? What if he goes in there and beats Shakur Stevenson? You're gonna say, oh, well, he had that hand injury. And also it seemed like Shakur Stevens was weight drained like he was at 130. Y'all gonna start making up excuses for him?
That's all I'm saying.
I can help you see more.
Yeah, you need to help him see more because
Make sure y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash on the like button. Smash the like button for me. Let me see. Let me get through some of these comments.
Okay, I'm not going through the comments. I just want to let y'all hear that portion of Knockout and ETB. Shout out to them brothers. That's their content, their audio. Like I said, it's no smoke from my end. I'm just doing a review. You know, I had to do a reactive review just because it pertained to the topic. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I just had to put it out there because, you know, this is Thanksgiving. November is about to expire and we're heading to December. And another year is approaching to remind these YTC creators, the creators that's out there that believe they're going to be a YouTube champion in 2025. You know what I'm saying? So another year is about to remind them that they're not. And another year is going to remind them that some of the shit they say on here on social media is just straight up biased. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the first. Just be a part of it. You don't have to be the first and be wrong. I'd rather be second and just talk about something that's right rather than first and be absolutely wrong. You understand? That's all I'm saying. Shout out to the chat, man. Bud can stop Canelo. What's good? The news about Shaw News Sauce Experience in the building. Team Tucker on deck. What's good? Conquest in the building. Devin Haney hated more than Shakur. Yeah. Let me put that up there. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shakur is not the most hated. Stop it. Y'all want him to be the most hated so y'all can try to big him up. And then he go in there and have another, you know, mediocre performance. Y'all gonna be like, hey man, he's been through a lot. He had hand surgery. He's Olympic champion, gold medalist. Man, come on, man. He get a pass just like y'all gave Vasily Lomachenko, dog. Man, stop hating on the brother. Cooking with Sir Senior, what's good? Darren Collins, what's good? What's good? That dude talking, be capping for Boots hard. Yeah, man, this is the dude that straight up Crawford hater. He contributed to the smear campaign. But now they don't have any dark-skinned dudes on the docket, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any dark-skinned boxers on the docket they can hate on. They was hating on Crawford hard, and then, you know, now they want to raise Boots up. And then when Boots go in there and have a mediocre performance, they think they have the audacity to come in here and criticize Floyd Schofield. Man, come on, bro. And talking about he don't think he'll never be that good. That's just straight up. You know, that's you sipping on the cocktail of BS right there. Seriously. Sip on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Take it all the way back. Maybe you'll sip on so much BS that you become immune to it, and it might change. You might have some mutation that goes on internally in your system that you can wake the fuck up. Come on, bro. But man, y'all hold it down. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I gotta bounce, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. Till next time, I'm out.